Hi, I'm KHOU 11 Chief Meteorologist David Paul, and we've got an Arctic blast heading to Houston. It's going to be bitter cold going into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There may be a little frozen mix involved at times as well. So what we've done is we've compiled all of our coverage so you'll know what to do before and during the storm. This is critical information to keep you, your home, your car, your family safe. And download the KHOU 11 app so we can get you alerts as conditions change.
Well, we are getting closer to an Arctic blast hitting the Houston area, so it is time to start preparing.
Ron Trevino explains why it's so important to prepare your car for these dropping temperatures.
Why are there important things to remember about your car ahead of cold weather? Houston knows how to deal with the heat, but we have less experience when the temperature drops below freezing. And it's not just pets, pipes, and people you have to worry about. Cold weather takes a toll on your car. According to the Department of Transportation, in cold temperatures, it can take more battery power to start gasoline and diesel engines. When it comes to electric and hybrid cars, driving range may be reduced. If you have concerns about your battery, then you may want to have a mechanic check it out before the weather gets cold. Another issue could be your tires. As it gets colder outside, you can lose pressure, causing your warning light to go off. Experts recommend checking your tire pressure before you start driving. You can find the recommended inflation pressure on a label on the driver's side door frame. Don't go by the number on the tire itself. That's actually the maximum pressure the tire can hold. The next warning is about kids and car seats. When it gets cold, your instinct is to wrap up your kid in a big, puffy jacket, but heavy coats can interfere with how a car seat works, keeping the harness from getting a tight fit. Instead, when using a car seat, use a lighter coat, put the harness over that, then use a blanket or a heavy coat on top of that to keep your kid warm. With a Y, I'm Ron Trevino.
Need to protect yourself and your family from carbon monoxide poisoning. It kills more than 150 people every year. The main causes are heating equipment and portable generators. So here's what you can do. Number one, make sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Put one in a central spot outside each bedroom and one on every floor. Number two, have all your heating systems inspected every year. Furnaces, boilers, a fireplace if you have one, including the chimney flues and vents. And number three, know the signs of carbon monoxide poisoning. If for whatever reason the detector does not work, those can include headache, weakness, dizziness, nausea, confusion, and blurred.
All afternoon, we've been giving you some suggested items, tips to get your house ready for the big freeze, your yard. Now we're talking about your car. If you do not have one already, $10.98 well spent. Yeah, jumper cables. Throw that into the back seat. And check your antifreeze. If you are low, a bottle of this, that's $9.98. A little prevention goes a long way. And finally, once all this is over, you may see your tire pressure indicator light come on your dashboard. That's because when it gets really cold, that air contracts, so then the pressure gets low. Be sure to take care of that. Fill your tires back up after this is all over.
Sherman Chow reporting. Thank you. KHOU 11 wants you to be weather smart ahead of the freeze. We have all the information you need on our website, including how to protect your home and car. Just text the word freeze to 713-526-1111. We'll send you a link right to your phone.
Take a look at this here. This is the 6-day forecast for energy supply and capacity from ERCOT. The blue dotted line you see here is projected demand, and the purple is forecasted supply or capacity. You can see that as we go into the future, we go from here, that gap is slowly but surely getting lower and lower as we approach the 15th, 16th, and 17th when that freeze is expected to happen. But fortunately, right now, looking at this forecast, the supply is not forecasted to outpace demand. That weather watch that ERCOT issued goes from January 15th through the 17th. Even though temperatures will be below freezing, ERCOT says they do expect grid conditions to be normal during that time period. That's good news for Texans for this particular weather system. There is some concern. Experts say if renewable energy sources go out in a significant manner because of freezing, that could lead to rolling blackouts.
We could get in trouble if there's a lot of freezing precipitation that comes with this. We do not have enough natural gas, coal, or nuclear-fired power plants to cover all of our demand if if we get to that point.
The good news to keep in mind for this system is that most wind and solar farms are concentrated in West Texas, which is not expected to have a freeze forecast like we're supposed to have right now. However, the issue remains worrisome for potentially stronger cold blasts in the future.
As ERCOT said in December, we've got a 1 in 6 chance of rolling blackouts if we get a February 2021 event today. Now keep in mind, at that time, ERCOT only said it was a 5% chance, so the odds of a failure are increasing.
Now, this energy capacity forecast is expected to fluctuate and change as we approach those weather watch days, and we'll keep an eye on it. In the newsroom, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
This is not the same situation as the February freeze, which we saw in 2021, but it is important to take steps to prepare now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sherman KHOU is live at an HEB with your Arctic Blast checklist. Hey, Sherman.
You caught me in my natural habitat, the grocery store. And these grocery stores are going to be packed likely this weekend as folks get ready for that upcoming freeze. They are already making a good dent in the water here, and that may be one of the first things you want to grab just in case, because we all know what it's like when the water goes out. So we thought we'd put together kind of a helpful list of suggestions of things you might want to have in the house just in case. Up next, batteries. Always good to have some fresh batteries for that flashlight just in case the power goes out. And you know what? Heck, why not? Let's go ahead and get a phone cable, one that works, in case you need to go ahead and charge up that phone. Next, maybe something for the kids. Yep, if you've got little ones in the house, you may want to make sure you've got plenty of diapers. Even if nothing goes wrong in the house, maybe you don't want to make a diaper run when it's really cold outside. And this is my favorite part, the snacks. Yeah, good idea to have something that you can keep in the house to nosh on that is tasty and also good for you. Maybe some protein bars and something you do not have to refrigerate. We'll toss a couple of these into the cart. And here is the running total. Now keep in mind, anything you don't use, it's not perishable. So if you don't use it next week, you can use it in the weeks to come ahead.
Here's a few things you can do right now to get ready for the freeze. For homeowners, make sure to winterize your sprinkler system. That means turning it off and draining the pipes so water doesn't get trapped and expand, which then in turn damages the system. Next, car owners, check the tire pressure. It will drop when it gets cold. And if you break down, God forbid, and get stranded in the cold weather, make sure you have some extra blankets and jackets to stay warm until help arrives. And don't forget your pets. The best place for them is inside. If not possible, put them in the garage or laundry room. If you do not protect them, you could be charged.
Area hardware stores are beginning to see the rush of people prepping for the cold weather.
You know, one store owner says the February freeze in 2021, remember that? Well, it taught people a few lessons in how to prepare. Katira Winfrey joining us live to explain why now is the time to do it. Katira.
Well, Reka and Ron, as the saying goes, it's better to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So you're sure to start seeing people in your neighborhood prepping. Now, one store owner says he already started seeing people buying items as early as this past weekend. Now, C&D Hardware in the Heights says this is the first time they've seen people being so proactive about getting their house ready. And today, half of the store purchases have been items to weatherize homes. He says many people have bought items to protect exposed outside pipes. He says with so many new people moving to Texas, it's a reminder it can get cold enough to cause some problems. So the items specifically made for pipes and winterization is great, but even old blankets and sheets can help keep some of the cold out to protect pipes outside of your home. Now, if you have a sprinkler system, you should cover the backflow preventers that are located above ground. One shopper says he managed to avoid serious damage during the 2021 freeze, but doesn't want to take any chances.
I got some insulation for some pipes coming into my house because 2 years ago it was that terrible freeze and I don't want to relive that.
I think folks have learned some really hard lessons the last 2 years, so the prep is really going well this